Well,
Number 1 and number 2 are the backers. That's Carter in the tailback spot, so they're going to give Hardy a little bit of a rest. They go slot left, but it's the upback that gets the handoff instead of Carter, and again it's number 1, Smith. Smith trying to get the first down. From this point, it appears to be a little doubtful, or at least maybe close enough for a measurement. Time remaining in the first half, 8 minutes and 55 seconds. Well, shows you where I left my eyes. They do have a first down without a measurement. So the ball spotted at the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. This drive has been an impressive one. It started back at their own 5-yard line. Slot to the left this time comes Marcus Jones. Handoff goes to, I believe, Hardy back in the ball game, or is that Roman? No, that is Carter. So Carter gets his first carry of the evening. He was very doubtful, said head coach John Haynes, but he is able to, on his first carry of the evening, pick up a couple of yards, and now he's going to leave the ball game as number 2 trots off.
well, he's running just a little bit tentative. I don't think he was really going for it 100%, and I think really what they wanted to do is put in Carter just to give Hardy a little blow and a well-deserved rest.
Indeed. Hardy back in there in the I formation. In motion from left to right goes Marcus Jones. Quick pass out this time is completed, and they're flat on his feet and finally driven out of bounds inside of the 20-yard line. Number 9, Brett Logan. Knocked out over there by Dean Yoshitani, 160-pound junior. And once again, that passing attack from the Cougars is one of flats and not depth. They're going for the flats, as you'll see here.
Just a little 2-yard out pattern, and number 9's able to make the catch, and he missed the tackler again. That's Logan on the run, and the corners for the Granada Hills defense haven't been able to stop him on that run.
Just short of the first down, where it'll be 3rd and 1. 86, Andrew Como sets up wide to the right. Handoff goes to Riles, the fullback. He's called upon to get the first down, and I believe he made it. As he moves behind the front of that line, anchored by center Darren Farrell. Farrell along with 64, Ron Sims. Also up front, 75, Era Durian. Jeff Randall, 55, and Philip Davis, 52.
And they certainly deserve a pat on the back thus far this game. They've really blown some holes for Hardy and as well as Riles.
Riles checks out of the ball game as number 1, Carl Smith, moves into the up back spot in front of Hardy. Now they go pro set. Evans gives to Hardy. Look out. Looks like 6 on the board. Patrick Hardy got a good opening on the right side of the line as Farrell, Simmons, and Durdurian just blew him away, and into the end zone, untouched, literally, goes number 3, Patrick Hardy.
You've really got to credit that offensive line. They just blow a hole. He never gets touched, and he's in the end zone. Of course, he's running well.
That looked like a play they do in the pregame drills, didn't it?
Against a Casper defense, right.
So, Greg Friedman will check onto the gridiron, and a stunned crowd here at Granada Hills awaits the extra point attempt from Friedman. As the Kennedy Cougars take the early lead here in the second quarter. The snap, and Friedman's kick is just out of there. Was it good? Yes, it was. Not picturesque, as he just got it out ahead of the attempted block that time by 35, who almost got to it. That was Dwayne Williams. However, it's good, so we have a 7-0 score in favor of Kennedy with 7:31 remaining here in the first half. He'll get ready to kick off for the Golden Cougars, who surprised the Highlanders with a 7-0 lead here midway through the second quarter. And of course, we're going to have to see, Phil, what the reaction is from the Highlanders. Are they going to put the ball in the air a bit more, or perhaps try to establish a rushing game?
Well, they've yet to complete a pass thus far this game. I think they're going to try and get some points on the board, whatever it takes.
Looks like an offside on the kickoff, and the penalty flag does go down as the ball is taken by 22. That's Bob Allen, but I'm surprised they don't let him run the ball back anyway, even though there was an obvious offside.
I think it was so obvious they were able to blow the whistle before they got the kickoff. The guy was 10, 11 yards offside.
All right, I've never seen that where they've stopped the play on a kickoff offside before, but that fellow right there who's giving the signals is in charge. So
yeah, they made him the boss, so he gets to make the rules.
We're just bit players in this role. All right, so Friedman will be asked to kick it an additional 5 yards. They'll spot it at the 35. Allen, number 22, is deep, along with, looks like Dean Yoshitani, 10, in dual safeties back in the neighborhood of the 10-yard line.
Of course, Friedman, we were so impressed with him against Taft. He kicked that long field goal, of course, but he really looks like he has a college foot on him.
Well, as I said earlier, he's got some sour memories about last year's game, although you can't put the blame on one kid. He certainly feels a share of it. Yoshitani comes up and takes it at the 18-yard line. Now he starts to cut upfield. He's to the 25 and across the 30. Nice return, and down he goes.
It really was a nice return. Granada Hills had their wedge set up to their sideline, and the runner was not able to get to it and just kind of took on the Kennedy defense 1 on 11, as they said. As we get a chance to see it, watch Granada Hills. They've got their wedge set up to this side. He says to himself, I can't make it, so I'll go this way and get as many yards as I can.
Then he drew a crowd, but nice return as the ball be spotted at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Highlanders as they trail 7-0. Of course, Granada Hills unbeaten on the season. They've won all 5 of their contests and have shown some pretty stingy defense in doing so. All right, Sperlin back to pass on 1st down. He's going deep. They want it back in a hurry. Incomplete off the fingertips of the intended receiver. That's 86, Greg Frobel. And again, like in the first or second play of the game, he had that ball go off his fingertips, and I think he's angry at himself, and he might have a good argument there.
That ball should have been caught, I have to say that. That ball was right on target. Sperling threw about a 40-yard spiral right on target, and Frobel's going to catch that again, like I said, 9 out of 10 times, but that's the second one tonight I think he should have caught.
And before the home crowd, you got to pick those off. They can't let those get away. All right, 2nd down and 10. High formation for the Highlanders. Ali, the tailback, tries to swing outside, cuts back. No, that's not Ali. That's number 25. That would be Mike Davis. And Davis is across the 45 for an apparent 1st down for the Highlanders. As in to make the stop was 53, Jason Choi, outside linebacker, senior, 162-pounder for the Cougars. 1st and 10 for the Highlanders, the ball at the 47-yard line.
I really feel like what Granada Hills has to do is go to a little more ball control. They've gone deep so often, and they haven't been able to complete the long bomb. They're forgetting that they need to go ball control and get some points on the board, and that's what they'll do.
All right, Davis and Ali line up in the I formation. Ali, the tailback, very tight eye. Quarterback Sperlin gives to Ali. Quick opener. Bust into the secondary. Cross midfield. Inside of the 40 to the 39-yard line. Nice hard hit-up run that time by Ali, who was finally corralled and brought down by Marcus Jones. And it's a good thing Jones was able to find him because Ali was really churning.
Well, you mentioned that tight eye, Larry, and that just gives him a situation where he's to the line of scrimmage so quickly, and he just busts up into a big hole for great yardage.
All right. Big 1st down for the Highlanders as they are inside the 40-yard line of the Cougars. The ball at about the 38.5. Ali checked out of the ball game as Bob Allen replaces him. It's Allen and Davis split backs. Whoops, mix up in the backfield. Sperling comes out of it all right. Now throws in and out of the hands of number 88. And, of course, that's Mark Newman. And, my gosh, Sperling's going to start talking to himself pretty soon if these receivers don't start squeezing that ball.
Well, he got hit a little bit, but he got up shaking his head because he really feel like he should have about 3 or 4 completions up to this point, and the receivers just haven't been able to catch the ball. No fault of Sperling. He's put the ball right on target each time.
Sperling, as a passer, is about a 55%er. He's coming into the ball game. He's completed 49 out of 88. 14 touchdowns, 853 yards, only 2 interceptions. That's quite a record.
Of course, 11 of those touchdowns went to Frobel, who has a big year, 21 receptions, 11 touchdowns.
Ali back into the ball game at the tailback spot. Mixed up in the backfield, and Sperling's going to have to eat the football. I'm not sure if that was supposed to go to 22 Allen or to Ali, but I'm sure Sperling was supposed to give it off to somebody, and somebody zigged when he should have zagged, apparently. In any event, a big loss on the play, back to about the 44-yard line as we take a second look.
I'd like to analyze this, but I have no idea what happened. We had guys going every which way, and he was supposed to hand off to somebody and just kind of ended up just eating the ball with the defenders coming to make the tackle.
Might have been a reverse intended there. In any event, the Cougars had it pretty well read no matter what he did, but Sperlin lost big yardage, so it's going to be 3rd down and 15. And he's back to pass. Good protection. Finally gets rid of it. Overthrown. Intended that time for 84. And that is Joey Speaks, 160-pound junior. The ball well over his head. And so Granada Hills has a brief offensive thrust, but it comes up empty again, and they're going to have to punt it away to the Cougars. As into the ball game for the Cougars, the return will be Patrick Hardy along with 32, Doug Rodriguez. Allen's kick. Fair catch is called for by Hardy at about the 12-yard line. Good coverage by the Highlanders. Cougars will take over, leading by a score of 7-0 with 5:04 to go until halftime, and they'll take it at their own 12-yard line.
Well, Sperling's yet to complete a pass here in the first half, and with the way Kennedy's moving the ball, they might eat up the clock, and who'd ever thought he would have went a full half without a completion. Kennedy, you've got to give them some credit. They've played very, very well on defense for the defensive backs and linebackers.
And, of course, Kennedy not 100% healthy either. Uh-oh, backfield in motion. Boy, did he know it. Handoff goes to Hardy, and they're going to stop the play dead. Number 1 was the guilty party. That's Carl Smith, as he miscalculated the snap count that time, and he got a good head start, and you could see it written all over his reaction. He knew he was wrong. Now they pat him on the back and say, okay, Carl, next time we'll get it right. 5-yard penalty against the Cougars. Will move the ball back inside of the 10-yard line.
Of course, for the Cougars, that's one of their strengths. They have a lot of running backs and very, very good ones. They've got about 4 or 5 of them they wouldn't mind giving the ball to. Of course, Carter, who's injured, but they got Hardy, Riles, and Smith, who they don't mind carrying the ball.
All right, the ball will be spotted at the 13. 1st and 15 for Kennedy. They lead 7-0. 5:01 to go here in the first half. Quarterback all the way, Eric Evans. They shift out of the I formation with Hardy running alongside of Smith. Hand off to Hardy. He moves the ball up in the neighborhood of the 10-yard line. Bottom of the pile, 22, would be Bob Allen, outside linebacker for the Highlanders. The ball just short of the 10. 2nd down and about 13.
You know, we came into the game, we really thought we'd see a really high-powered offense on both sides, and we really haven't seen that. We've seen some very, very good defense and a low-scoring ball game.
Once again, we have those one-digit numerals in the backfield. 7 Evans, 1 Smith, and 3 Hardy. And Hardy's going to swing wide to the right. Gets missed by 1 man, and finally is caught down as he got very little yardage. Didn't get across the 10-yard line. The fellow that was there in the tackle once again was Bob Allen.
Allen's been very, very active on defense.
And 28, Danny Takahashi. All right, it's going to be 3rd down and about 12 yards to go for the Cougars. Well, if they had a passing attack, they might try something here, but I shouldn't belittle their passing attack. Actually, they've been able to get good yardage. They just don't go deep with their passes. They rely on the runner to do most of the pickup. All right, quick opener. Whoa, into the secondary comes number 1, Smith. Smith with a 1st down with lots of yardage to spare as he finally is brought down at the 30-yard line by Danny Yoshitani.
Of course, when you run the ball like this, you won't have to pass it.
Okay, we'll be back with more with 3:32 to go, and the score is the Cougars 7 and the Highlanders nothing. To the right, picked up 25 yards to go to the Highlander 45-yard line, and another Cougar 1st down. 3:05 to go in the half. And off to Hardy again. Boy, they don't give this kid any rest, do they? As he takes the ball inside of the 45, down to about the 43-yard line. Hardy a little slow getting up, and I think he probably wants to take as much time as he can to get back to the huddle and rest up.
Yeah, I think after running 25 yards, you probably shouldn't give him the ball to him again, but since Carter's hurt, they really don't have an option. They kept him in there and gave him the ball again.
Hardy in the I formation, tailback. Hand off to Riles this time, the fullback, as he busts straight ahead. Make it number 1, actually, Carl Smith, who's been running out of that fullback spot for most of the 2nd quarter. He takes it to the 40-yard line. It's going to be third down and call it 5 yards to go for the Cougars. Just approaching the 2-minute mark here in the first half, and the Cougars with an opportunity to perhaps put 3 on the board before halftime. They already lead 7-0. Pro set formation. You'd think pass here, but no, it goes to Hardy. Hardy cuts back as he moves the ball across the defensive left side of the line. Bob Allen slowed him up, and I believe Scott Craven was over there to help out on the stop. Anyway, the ball will be spotted at the 37-yard line. It's going to be fourth down now, and about 3 yards to go for the Cougars.
I think they're going to go for it again. They feel like their offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage. They think they can blow Granada Hills back, pick up 3 or 4 yards. I think they're going to run the ball, maybe go to one of those short passes.
Well, they had a short, rather mid-yardage situation a little while ago, which would have caused for a pass, and they ran for the first down. This time they're not quite so fortunate, as there looked like Mark Meyerhofer was the boy that made the stop on him. Either that or an assist may go to 71. That would be David O'Keefe. But it looks like it's going to be short of the first down by the fourth down effort by the Cougars. But for Granada Hills, with 1:12 to go, they've got a long way to go in a short period of time, as they will take over first and 10, the ball near their 35-yard line.
Of course, they're a high potent offense, and they can score very, very quickly. There's only a minute left, but they can go deep fast.
Well, they may go to a hurry-up offense right now, that's for sure, because with 72 seconds, this will give them an opportunity. It is short of the first down. I wasn't even aware of the fact they were going to measure. It looked obvious to me, at least 4 inches.
They shouldn't even have measured 4 inches.
All right, now the Highlanders say it's our turn to play with the football. Let's see if we can do something with it. The Cougars' defense has not really been on the field very much this ball game.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that Granada Hills just really has an opportunity to get it going. They've had less than 10 plays, I think, offensively.
All right, quarterback Brent Sperlin has his team in an I formation. Wide receiver to the near side. Handoff instead goes to the tailback. And that was Ali, 32, and he was tripped up as he only got about a yard in the play, and now the Highlanders have to use up one of those 2 remaining timeouts. So that does not help their situation at all, as they have 48 seconds remaining. We thought perhaps they'd come out throwing, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they probably wanted to try and catch Kennedy and surprise, maybe pick up 20, 30 yards on a draw, and weren't able to do it. I think talking about the Granada Hills offense, usually the best defense is your offense, and Kennedy's been able to keep the ball, control the line of scrimmage, and they've eaten up a lot of time on the clock, and it's really kept Granada Hills off the field, their offense.
And Kennedy with another advantage. They're going to be able to give their bread and butter carrier, Patrick Hardy, a pretty good rest now, because he won't be in there for this final minute of the first half, and he'll be able to sit down, take a little 20-minute breather at halftime, and be relatively fresh to start the third quarter. However, we'll have to keep an eye on him come fourth quarter time, because he's been a busy, busy runner.
Yeah, they may have to carry him up at the end of the game.
All right, the Cougars again line up I formation. They split 2 receivers to the near side. Sperlin barks out the signals. Drops straight back. A quick out this time is complete to 10, Yoshitani, and he's finally busted out of bounds at the 45-yard line, make it the 46, where it's very close to a first down for the Highlanders. Knocked out over there by number 9, Brett Logan, a two-way player, 180-pound senior for the Golden Cougars as we take another look.
Of course, when you're a defensive back for Kennedy, you want to give those receivers a lot of room, especially with only a minute left in the half. They ran about a 10-yard out. We had an ISO on follow, but he broke the tackle by number 9, was able to get good yardage and a first down.
All right, first and 10 for the Highlanders. Time remaining 43 seconds here in the first half. This time the wide receivers go to the left. And a pitch coming to the weak side, number 25, that's Mike Davis. Davis trying to get out of bounds, but he can't do it as he gets across into Kennedy territory, but that clock will stop at 38 seconds to go, and it's another first down for the Highlanders. And this time they huddle without, they line up without a huddle.
Number 25, Mike Davis.
All right, number 12, Brent Sperlin with a lone setback this time as he really spreads them out. Looks down and out this time, incomplete, in and out of the hands of number 10, Dean Yoshitani, 160-pound junior.
Pass intended for number 10, Dean Yoshitani. Granada Hills second is
Sperling has really had some bad luck with his receivers. That was the time Yoshitani wasn't able to hold on to the ball. We've had it several times. We've got a ISO on Fobble. He's had some extracurricular activities going on. They haven't been able to give him the ball, and they're really going after him here.
Boy, and they're going right back.
I'd say those guys
Fobble looking for a flag, wasn't he?
I don't think they like each other.
No. All right, here's a quick handoff this time to 22, Bob Allen. Allen down to about the 35-yard line. It's going to be a third, check me on that, a second down, third, right, and about 5 to go with 21 seconds remaining here in the half as the Highlanders use up their last timeout of the first half. I believe it's their last one, which brings up an interesting situation. They have a pretty good field goal kicker in 86, Greg Fobble, but will they, if they do get somewhere near the 20 or 25-yard line, have time to set up a field goal situation?
Well, as you mentioned, they've used all their timeouts, and I questioned that call a little bit. They ran the ball there, and I thought they should have thrown it because of the time situation. Of course, Fobble, I think they're going to have to get at least 3 points on the board just to kind of change the momentum of the ball game.
It's been really Kennedy game plan has been the dominant part of this contest. They've come out, they've established the run, and they've done a good job of it. And their defense certainly must give it a lot of credit because they've not allowed the Highlanders to really open up on them. All right, they're expecting something in the way of a long pass now as they have 2 very deep backs in their secondaries. In motion this time goes Ali from right to left. Little pattern out to Yoshitani, and Dean just wasn't waiting for that. He was surprised that the football got there. And boy, Brent Sperlin is really coming up empty on his passing game, and not a great deal of blame can be put on the quarterback's shoulders either.
Yeah, that time Yoshitani was not the intended receiver. They wanted to go to the tight end on that particular play. That's Newman, and the outside linebacker just didn't let Newman release, and Yoshitani didn't expect the ball.
So he checks out of the ball game as 84. Joey Speaks replaces Yoshitani as a wide receiver as Speaks and Fobble go wide to the left. And a very tight pro set offense with 19 seconds to go. This is 4th down, by the way, 4th and 5. Look for Allen out in the flat, incomplete, and that was a bad pass by Sperlin. He underthrew 22 Bob Allen, as Allen was pretty well open. I would have thought would have had an easy time getting the first down and perhaps out of bounds, but Sperlin that time, perhaps out of frustration, or maybe had to hurry to throw a little bit underthrew his receiver.
Of course, that's a tough pass. That's a long pass on a little out pattern, 5-yard out, and wasn't a great throw by Sperlin, but that's just kind of the frustration they've had all half. That kind of indicates the half they've had.
15 seconds to go until intermission time as the Cougars putting a little bit of a surprise here with a 7-0 lead. Let's see if they play it conservative or if they try to bust one. They're lined up rather conservatively, wouldn't you say? I think they'll take their 7-point lead and call it quits. As time runs out here in the first half and both teams start heading towards the dressing room with a 7-0 Kennedy lead over Granada Hills. Of course, we'd like to remind you once again that the player of the game will receive 2 tickets to UCLA Cal.